up, fellas? It's Henry at Mowers and Blowers again. It's a very hot day. It's 92 degrees today, 100% humidity, hotter than hell. But it's a good hot because we've had rain a lot, you know. So last weekend, my son went to the prom, and then after that he graduated high school and he's doing all these graduation parties, whatever. But on the night of the prom, two couples, you know, the parents of his friends and stuff also went to the prom. So 3 groups of parents, we went out to the local country club. I'm not a member, trust me, but my buddy is a member of the local country club here. So we went over there for dinner. So I haven't seen these dudes in like a couple years, you know. Anyway, so one of them, we were just talking, bullshitting, whatever, and I was telling him about my channel. You know, hey, Henry, you know, what are you doing these days? I'm like, oh, I'm still working on my channel. And he's like, well, what was that? You know, and so I was telling him about it, Mowers and Blowers and stuff. And so, you know, he was very intrigued by the fact that, you know, because he likes small engines too. You know, what guy really isn't intrigued by it, you know? Well, there's some, but most of them are kind of intrigued by it, you know? Anyway, so that was it. That was the night. Then a day passed by, and he's like, texted me, and he says, hey, Henry, I checked out your YouTube channel. Man, it's hilarious. I go, hilarious? Anyway, so he goes, hey, listen, I've got a power washer that's been sitting in my garage for 8 years, and I'd like to get it started up again. Can I drop it off to you? And I'm going, yeah, sure, drop it off. Next thing I know, I woke up the next morning, this thing's in front of my garage. And he says, hey, I just dropped that off to you. So, it's the kind where it has the ball bearings and the Briggs & Stratton recoil starter. Those ball bearings, you know what I'm saying, like 6 ball bearings that grip onto the cup and lets you pull. Luckily, this thing moves. Because if I had to fix the recoil starter on that thing, I'd kill myself, you know. I might kill myself anyway, because this is a Northern, it says Northern on it, NH, right? I've never heard of it. NH, Northern, where the pros and handyman shop. So it's got the old Briggs & Stratton engine. It's got the gas tank on the bottom here, right? Got the switch for run and choke up on top over here. Idle, fast. Recoil starter. This is the air cleaner. Muffler there. That's a gas tank. And check this out. This is, I hate this. I absolutely hate it. It's the kind with the diaphragm. That's the one over here, see? Almost always, diaphragm's all jacked up and stuff, so... And it's kind of difficult to remove. So I'm not really looking forward to fixing this, but you know what? He's my friend, and, you know, he asked me to look at it. Well, I'm looking at it, you know? No, I'm going to have to try to get it started for him, you know? I don't really like power washers, but you know what? I'm going to give it a whirl. First thing I'm going to do is just start to disassemble the top part here, you know? And I guess we'll see what happens. Right, guys? I mean, it never ends for us, does it? Just never ends. There's always something to do. I'd actually like a week of doing nothing and just sitting on my ass in my house, lying on the couch with my dog, eating Lay's potato chips, the classic kind. No dip, no nothing. Just a bag of Lay's, like the whole bag, just for me, not sharing or nothing. Just devouring the entire bag of chips and soda while watching a movie. Pre-cleaner's pretty clean. And actually, surprisingly, air filter's pretty clean. I mean, dude hasn't played with it for 8 years. My friend is Mike Lynch. He's a good guy. I'd be happy to look at your stuff. So you know what we're gonna do? I put gas in it just the other day, just to see if I can pull start it. You know, there's no choke. Oh, there is a choke, but there's no primer. You know, so I'm gonna blow a little bit of. You know, let's see this. Let's take it off a choke, and look, as you can see, it works well. And I'm gonna squirt some what they used to call ether, but this is starting fluid. It has a bad cap, but it'll get it in there. And I'm just gonna pull start it a few times. By the way, no way this will work, but you never know. Let's just see if everything's in order. Are you kidding me? Of course, you're not supposed to run these things dry without water. But how about that? How about it? Let's try that again. Wow, that's incredible. It started just fine. Mike, I don't know what you're talking about, buddy. It runs just fine. You know what? I'm gonna go and attach the hose to it. Actually, you know what? I think it's just a fluke. Man, that's incredible. Seriously. I mean, after all those years, he must have drained the... Mike, did you drain the gas and all that stuff before you parked it? Because honestly, you know, 8 years and stuff, that gas that would be inside would be like gel or dust by now. You know what I'm saying? And it seems to be just fine. You know, so whatever you did to it before you parked it, you did a good job. But question is the pump good or not? You know what I mean? So I'm going to attach this to the hose in the back, and we're going to see if the pump works. Because most of power washers, the pump goes first. And, you know, the engine seems to run just fine. You know, after we gave it a little bit of a prime, you know. Honestly, I don't think the idle's very fast, because don't you need a lot of idle for, you know, for the, not the idle. Yeah, it doesn't seem like the RPMs are strong enough, you know. It's usually really fast, you know. I don't see how much pressure you're going to get out of this thing, you know, but we'll see. Let me put this top part back, because it seems to run just fine. Surprisingly, I mean, I'm shocked. I've had a lot of shocks this week. You know, things that you didn't think would run, and they run, like my Toro zero turn. You'd think it wouldn't run, but it ran. I've had some good stuff happen lately. But trust me, I have had my share of bad stuff too, you know, where I'd spend like a month on one project because it just wouldn't freaking start, you know what I'm saying? But, hey look, Mike, if I didn't have to tear apart this ancient diaphragm type carburetor, it's a bonus for me, because there's no way I want to do that. It's not fun. I'll tell you what, I've done an edger, an old Craftsman edger that had that type of carburetor. It sucked. I also had 2 wood chippers, also Craftsman, that had exactly the same type of carburetor. And guess what? That sucked too. So since I'm going to drag it to the back, got to make sure there's some air in there. There's no air. Tires still look pretty good, but honestly, I don't know what kind of power washer it is. It's only 3 horsepower. I'm not going to get too much pressure out of it. I mean, that's just my opinion. You got to have at least 6 or 7 horsepower to get some good pressure. What do I know? I'm not an expert at power washers. You know what I gotta do though? I gotta check the Earl. If I want to run this thing, I gotta check the Earl. Here, let me get you closer so you can see where to check the Earl. There's actually 2 Earl areas that I saw. 2. There's one Earl area, and there's another one on the other side too. I don't understand that. That's the Earl? Yeah, this is Earl. Well, isn't there supposed to be a dipstick or something? It's not bad. Not good, but not bad. It's supposed to have a dipstick. Dipstick?
Cletus, you know what you are? You're a dipstick. A 14-karat dipstick.
I guess that's what Mike meant by hilarious. Cletus, you dipstick! This one better have a dipstick in it. It's no dipstick! Well then how the hell do you know what levels they are? It's not bad. It's not bad. I'm going to put a little bit of SA-30 in it just to top it off. It's a little low. Because the temperature is way over 32, we're going to use some SAE-30 motor oil from my buddies over at Lucas Oil Products. There's a friend of mine over at Lucas Oil. He's the top guy over there at the Motorsport division. Anyway, he's got his own Instagram. It's called the Bogies Garage. B-O-G-I-E-S Garage. That guy messes with a lot of major league stuff, let me tell you. Got like a jet dragster. And because I was a Mustang guy myself, he's got this badass Mustang with a supercharger on it. Kenny Bell supercharger. It's pretty impressive, but you know that stuff is beyond me now. I don't know anything about that stuff now. Honestly, I don't even really like the new Mustangs. I only like the late 80s. What did I do with the cap? See? Can't find the cap. Mike! What happened to the cap? Oh, I'm holding it. Oh man, I tell you, when you reach 50, that's it. Everything starts going downhill, pal. Alright, well anyway, so we filled up your Earl. I don't know why there's 2 filler holes, but whatever. Alright, I'm going to drag this to the back. We've got some air in the tires. We've topped up some Earl. Got some gas in it. We know it starts. I'm going to bring it to the back and see if the pump works. So here I am in the backyard. As you can see in the background, that's my poor LTV10 Varadrive. Rear end is off. Sold it. Sold the hood, right? And I really don't know what I'm going to do with it now because it looks like complete trash in my backyard and I got to get rid of it. I'll probably take off the grill and steering wheel, steering column, steering sector, the bottom pulleys to, you know, drag link, you know, part it out. I'm going to find out where I put the water input in this thing. Nothing on the back. Nothing on the front. Where do you put the water? Oh, I've got it. I've got it. I've got it. So, got this, we call it that. So I've got the hose hooked up. The snake hoses, don't get the plastic ones because the fittings are plastic. They always strip, they're no good, so it always leaks out there. Get the brass ones. I tried to buy some brass ones. They were $10 extra, $29.99. They didn't have any more. So I have the plastic ones, only $19.99 from your Home Depot. And I'm going to start it up and see if it works. Doesn't work. I don't think the gun is I think the gun is clogged. See, a little bit of water is coming out of there, but it looks like soap. So I bet you there's like 8-year-old dried soap blocking the nozzle. You know what? I have another gun. I'm gonna go get it. So I got that hose. Fitting doesn't fit. And I actually have a third hose. It doesn't fit either. So I'm going to try to take the head off of that one and put it onto this one because I think that head's just clogged. None of these fittings fit. I'm trying to like mix and match too. Taking the gun off of this one, the wand off of that one, the top fitting off of the other one. I'm trying to get it to work. Not working. Alright, so I took the original gun and hose and I changed the wand, the tip, from one to another. Sucked. Alright, let's see if it's let's see if stuff comes out of it now. Of course I gotta pick the hottest day of the summer to do this. So, I think he needs a new gun. I mean, I feel pressure in the hose. I'm not 100% sure if the pump works or not. I feel like there's pressure, you know, when I trigger the wand, I feel pressure, you know what I'm saying? So I think it's the gun that's busted. Either that or the pump could be busted, but I'm not really too sure. So anyway, surprise, we got this thing running. Mike starts up very easily, man. Fast, one pull. I think you need a new hose and wand that fits that. As you saw, it wasn't easy to mix and match the right ones, you know. And these guns are no good, you know. I know these are not very good, so I think maybe it works. You just need a new wand, or to, you know what, I'm gonna unclog that original one. This is the original tip from Mike's wand. You see that? It's really rusted. And on the inside, looks like there's crap in there. I'm gonna see if I can blow it out. So I took the tip, and this was blocked. Even in there, it had like rust. So I took my torch tip cleaners, put it all the way through, so now you can see the hole. So I'm going to put this tip back on here again, and we'll see if it works. I highly doubt it. I still think you either need a new gun, or I think the pump may be bad. Because I don't really feel that much pressure. I feel some, but I don't feel a lot. So let's see. So this is the original gun, the original hose, the original wand, and the original tip. See? Now stuff comes out of it. Works. I mean, the pressure sucks because it's only 3 horsepower, you know, but it works. PSI is very low, but it's only a 3 horsepower engine. But it works. Getting the algae off. I said, it's only 3 horsepower. Pressure's not going to be that great, you know, it's old. But, you know, if you can clean your side of your house, not bad. So, now it's working there, Mike. Starts up great. All you need to do is pull it on, start right up. I think when you want to start it up in the beginning, since there's no primer, you just pull this a few times like this. And that kind of primes it, the carburetor, right? And then you do it hard. Starts up good. I fixed your hose, I fixed your wand and your tip. And even though it's only 3 horsepower, I can't imagine this having too much PSI. You know, I'm thinking like maybe 800 to 1,000 tops, you know what I mean? The ones that I've been used to are 2,500, 2,900 PSI. That's really strong, you know, but those are like 6 or 7 horsepower engines, double the size of that, you know? Matter of fact, I'm going to look at this right here. It's the TT9061. That's the general pump. It says oil should take SAE 20 or 30. So it doesn't say anything about the PSI, but I'm imagining that it's about 800 or 900. Shouldn't be rated too high. I don't know. But anyway, it works. Hey Mike, come get it. See you guys next time on Mowers and Blowers. Hey guys, support my channel. Buy a sticker. Also follow me on Instagram at Mowers Blowers. Check out my website, mowersblowers.com. See you guys next time on Mowers and Blowers.